doors and stuff. So, like, how have you guys been so far? I mean, this has been a crazy con. 4 days. I don't know how. But we're just about this con. Just pass it through in the booklet, or just do my stupid posts online about it.
Mostly just around.
Mostly just around. Well, yeah. It's good stuff, though. I've been doing these panels now for. This is the 4th Metrocon I've been doing these. So that's a lot of fun. So next time I get this one so I can see. Technology. That's why I need one of those surfaces that's got a kickstand. Good enough. There's a light right there, so I'm gonna move it. Perfect, no light. Anyways, hey guys, how you doing? My name is Scott Lambright Smith. I'm a voice actor, voiceover artist, voice talent.
Do you know how many now?
That's it 4, good sir.
Huh?
That's it 4, good sir.
That's at 4? I thought it was at 3.
It's okay.
If you want, you can stay.
They can stay. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
But basically, yeah, whatever I'm marketing to, I'll use voice actor, voice talent, voiceover artist, whatever they want. So, like I said, my name is Scott Lambright Smith. I have to use my full name because there's a Scott Smith in Canada who doesn't really work, but he still has scottsmithvoice.com. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. That's my job to be heard. Okay. But as I was saying, I've got to use my full name, and I'm okay with that because at least it's cool. Scott Lambright Smith. Ooh, it's got that nice little ring. But I've been working now for about 4 years, since March 2011. So I've been working this a long time, and I still live here, and I still, believe it or not, make a living doing what I do. So that's kind of the cool part. I mean, I'm not doing cartoons every week. I wish I was. I'm doing a lot of animations and video games, mostly commercial work, radio work, and promo work. But let me just tell you about what I do. Basically, a day in my life, I will get up early, get stuff set in my booth, and get everything ready. And then I'll kind of be at the bay of clients. Sometimes they'll come early and be like, okay, we need this by 4 o'clock. Sometimes they're nice and say, end of the week. A lot of times they'll just cast you, oh yeah, we need this in an hour. I've had that. I don't know how, they just know. It's like, you're at a Target just heading back into groceries. Oh yeah, we need this in an hour, thanks buddy.
Who forgot the sticky note?
Yeah, exactly. But some of my clients include Marvel. I did a promo for the Avengers for this Avengers app. If you guys ever saw it in theaters. Did you guys see the Avengers in theaters at all?
Yeah.
Did you see an obnoxious ad that was like, Avengers fans, time to assemble, get the superhero app today. Oh jeez, I'm famous. No one's ever said, like, I've heard it, or like, oh no. Yeah, you guys maybe heard me then, awesome. So I did a spot for Zero Toys for this thing called Gyro Street Jammers. It spins, so it's like Gyro Street Jammers, check it out. Sick! So I've done a lot of weird commercial stuff. And one last year I did University of Iowa, voted the top 10 college by attendance. So every week is different. And that's just the commercial stuff. In terms of animation, oof. Geez, I have done, there's something called Arms Masters coming out that's coming out this summer, which is a little 1.5 minute long episode for a pitch. There's Prince Adventures. Have you guys heard of that? Well, it's something that Todd Havercorn and Vic Mignogna, they're attached to. It's a pitching anime, and I play Satan in it. The atheist to play Satan, I see how it is. But funny, my first role in theater was Noah when I was 5, so the mighty have fallen. But I'm trying to think. You guys ever played the game Strifefall? It's a new game that came out a while ago. Well, I play this character Rip in that. He's coming out this summer. And Heroes of New Earth, I play this character called The Hunger. I got paid to burp. Just like this, it's like this monstrous-looking Pac-Man thing that's like, and they're just like, need actor to burp various times, and I'm like that. So, is they were just like, this is vile. And they gave me a review saying, get this talent if you need someone who has a lot of gas. I'm like, thanks.
Give me a lot of soda.
But yeah, I mean, any week is different. Last week I was doing some promo for some guy I've never heard of, saying how he was a wedding photographer doing all this cool stuff, and who the hell he was. And then this week I just had a time-based game where I'm like, 10, 9, 8, all that stuff. Just it's weird. Every week is different. But enough about me. You guys know who I am, so you guys established my credibility. You've heard me at Marvel. Yeah! So anyway, what is voice acting? I'm sure we have an idea of it, but basically voice acting is a voiceover. Basically, if you're not seeing me,
Yeah. Hey, no, it's the man behind the curtain. None at all. I'm not here. You don't see me, but
it gets animated and eventually you see the performance. So that's what a voiceover is, an unseen voice. And it harkens back to the days of radio. And the coolest thing about that is I can be doing a commercial, I can be doing a character, I can be doing, you know, some little like 13-year-old punk, dude, no way, man. Or just, you know, I can voice that guy that just came in.
oh, I'm John. Look at me. I'm late.
Scott McNeil's panel ran over.
Oh, his panel ran over? When does it ever run over? Eat this, eat that, sign my thing. Yeah, every time. But basically, anything you hear, not seeing performer, that's a voiceover. And something I get asked a lot is by some of my colleagues that do radio and commercial and stuff. They're like, oh, you know, Scott, I mean, I've got this big booming presence. Can I do the cartoon characters? And I'm like, well, I mean, you speak really well, but, you know, there's not many characters that need the, hi there, my name is Tina, I'm here to fight for my village. A lot of voiceover actors kind of fall into the niche of, you know, they fall in love with their voice. Like, you know, Don LaFontaine, you know, in a world with this, blah, blah, blah. He's great at what he does, but if you gave him a character script, he would go, in a world where I can't. You know, it's completely different, whereas what I do, I can transform to those little tiny subtle character changes. So basically the premise is this. There's big guys here doing voiceovers. They can do that really well, but a lot of times they can't transition to doing animation and character work that I do. And there's a big reason for that. Believable acting! Okay, no one speaks like that anymore. At least I don't think so. They do in some parts of the Lower East Side, but that's niche theater. Speaking of theater, I love having the power to have the audience go. Like if I just slowly stop talking and have my mouth like, and one person looked. But basically, the thing about this is acting. Speaking is not acting, but acting is indeed speaking. So I can say a line 1,000 ways. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Each line has different context and different meaning based on the scenarios and my status in relation to others. So knowing that, you're ready to go. You know, acting is in the moment, it's this, it's speaking to different modes and everything. No, it's not that easy. Like, I've watched so many panels online from people teaching voice acting going, oh yeah, so here's this microphone, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, learn how to act. Okay, go on. No. Acting is, it's voice acting, not voice! That's, I mean, most of the work I do, I get paid to use this voice. So it's not about what I use my voice for, or how it sounds, it's how I'm using it. So it's good information, it's great to have, and knowing this already, you're better off than a lot of people. Like this guy. Do you know who this guy is? That's Chris Rock. He talks like this. It's my best impression of him. I'm not Phil Lamar. I don't voice double for him. But he made a statement in 2012 about, you know, animation acting is easy. You just go in the booth and you say, what's the line? And you say the line. He paid $1 million. And he said you can be anything. Unfortunately, if you look at his track list, he's always playing something that looks kind of like him, is going to sound like him, and is written for him. Whereas when I go into booth, they go, okay, you're playing a 12-foot-tall monster that has a very dry, breathy roar. Oh yeah, that's me on Sundays. So I'll go in and just go, and they direct me from there. So I'm not privileged enough to have a character written for me. There'll be the day that happens, though. That'll be wonderful, but till then, no. So then, if you want to really get started in this, you've got to do the first, most dreadful, terrifying thing. Record your voice. Everyone's like, no, I've recorded on my phone saying, hey, my phone message. There's a reason why that pre-recorded message exists, because people hate the sound of their voice. But here's the little problem about that. Look at this little tiny microphone. what's up? So that mic is tiny and terrifying and... This microphone, no, this is a very pretty, large diaphragm condenser microphone. The actual hearing part of the microphone, I know, I'm an actor, it's technical terms. The pickup pattern is like this. That's not it. It's very suggestive. Dilation. So it gets this nice, full, accurate response of your voice. So you're up there and you're going, hey, what's up? It's not going to sound like, you're going to get a full, beautiful, lovely sound. So if you ever have a chance, your friend's got a microphone and recording music, just ask, oh, hey, can I say some words into it? And you've got to fall in love with your voice. Because every day I'm editing Scott Lambright Smith, 2 takes. Hey, try to, hey, come to the store. Hey, come to the store. So every day I'm hearing that same voice over and over again. So I've got to fall in love with it and use it and know it. Because I can tell in an instant where no, subtly it's off, the pacing's wrong, the beat's wrong. I just know. Another thing you've got to be really conscious of is your age and your accent. I know it's weird to think like, accent, we're in Florida. It's like, people have accents everywhere. I have a neutral American accent, luckily enough, because I've been doing acting for so long, and I really, when I got serious about this, I just started going, how do you pronounce this word? This, good, this. Hey, come in, okay. There's no one there, just door open on its own. But you've got to know that, you've got to know how you sound. If you've got an accent, that's fine. You just have to be able to turn it off. You know, I can instantly, do an Australian accent. The point is that I can keep it. I can bring that in. I can just take it off right now. Or take that cold. Yeah, I can bring it back in here and I'll just speak it like this. It's not just about accents and, funny voices, but knowing all those crazy stuff really helps. But the main thing you need for voice acting is your emotional range. Your experiences, you're gonna need that. If I've never been stabbed in the back, obviously I haven't. Okay, good. I'm gonna need to know how to do that with my imagination. But another important thing about your voice is you've got to treat it like an instrument. Everyone knows the horror stories. Voice actors, what's your least favorite thing? I love video games, but I hate dying 1,000 times. Because dying 1,000 times hurts. You're screaming. There's no real way to fake a scream. You can't just go, ah! They know. They can tell. You've got to, ah! No, it's too short. Ah! No, too whiny. Dying here. Ah! Perfect. Thanks. So you can't fake it, but you've got to use water, or in this case, vodka. Too much. But treating it like an instrument means you've got to play it well. You've got to study it, study your craft, and know everything about it. You've got to know what tone and resonances are good for you. With my tone, as you can tell, I'm a youthful sounding guy. So I tend to get cast as, cockier heroes, or younger teenagers like this, or even like younger kids. But that's just my baseline voice. I've luckily been able to expand outside of it by doing singing and stuff and crazy stuff, so I can do those weird things where you just drop your voice and suddenly you widen the cavity back there, so you've got this larger resonating tone. My friend John's really good at that. He'll just be talking, then, oh, I'm doing this. But it's about opening that passage really wide. Think about it like a pipe organ. You've seen a pipe organ before. Where the lowest notes come from is on the largest, longest pipes. And think about our vocal cords. The longest ones have that lower tone. That's why taller people tend to have a lower voice. They have longer vocal cords. And whereas little kids tend to have little tiny ones. And knowing how to actually widen it, and knowing how to shrink it, that's how you can expand that range. Younger kids, you basically shrink it up and you lose that bass, you kind of bypass it like that, and then puberty happens, weird. So knowing how to do that is going to be crucial because, like I said, it's all about acting, that's the main part. But being able to change your voice means you can perform 3 characters in the same production. And you can argue with yourself like I have. Another fun thing that I get to do, luckily, is extended vocal technique. You guys have heard of Frank Walker, D. Baker, right?
Yeah.
So all the weird, like... Well, the fun of that is that I get hired to do creatures and weird beasts. So they show me an image, like I said, 12-foot tall monster Or we need 4 different little yappy monsters with mouths that open 4 different ways. No, the second one. Okay, third one. Channel and hash a little. Perfect! Okay, the fourth one I want you to do a Joe Pesci, but not a Joe Pesci, with a little bit of George Carlin, but no Nicolas Cage. Perfect! Hello.
Hello, Luigi.
So that is the fun of being able to do that. And if you can do great stuff, like I said, burp, you can sing. If you do an amazing cricket sound, I have a friend that's really good at that, and I'll tell a bad joke, just chirp, chirp. I'm just like... All I can do is, pterodactyl! So that's not very useful for it, it's weird. But, as I said, the most important thing about voice acting is the acting. And what separates an acting performance from speaking words is knowing how to define and use a character. Everyone in this room is a character. Everyone's got their own ideas, their objectives, their goals, their status, their energy, their stories. Everyone's got that. Now, knowing how to drop what you have, drop your baggage, and pick up someone else's baggage, or as I think Pat Freely says, step into the suit of the character. You've got to be able to do that. And you've got to realize that everyone has flaws. Everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. Think of it that way. You know, I'm who I am. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm a little more free-spirited, a little more fun. But if I was going to play a character that was a little more uptight and serious, I kind of have to lose that looseness to me. I've got to kind of tighten up. Also being loose, of course. Acting is so easy. So get that tightness you need. I need to kind of sink my mouth so I'm not as confident. And of course, I'm an aristocrat as well, so you've got to take in that higher speech and the higher status now. You've got to be the meager little man who's a little afraid to hit me, sir. So you've got to pull all that and then put it in and be in that moment and experience that and have it happen to you. It's crazy hard. I'm going to go into more detail about this at 6 with the character performance panel, but here's a little subtleties and craziness that go into acting that you don't realize until someone points it out. And here's an example of something. Context of a line is very important. If I was going to read just a line, okay? Yeah, it's a tool in your toolbox. Now, if I just read that alone, with no context before and after the moment, that can be read 1,000 ways. This line, in fact, is actually about acting technique, about Stanislavski's toolbox. But if I had no context, I'd assume, hey, it's about home improvement, it's about, Home Depot. Hey, it's a tool in your toolbox. But knowing that it's about acting, it's just a tool in your toolbox. It's probably a little more serious, a little more high class and arty. But knowing the context helps, because when we're given lines in the studio, we're luckily given the whole script. Even if it's just me and my own, I'm given every line, and my lines are highlighted. I can't just say the line like, oh, it's you again, without that context, because if it's a friend, oh, it's you again. A rival, oh, it's you again. If it's someone I owe $10,000 to, oh, it's you again. That context changes everything. The relation changes everything. Because in acting, we have status. So I have, right now I've got a high status because you're all listening to me, I hope, soon. But if I was up here just, okay, so voice acting is, my status drops. You no longer perceive me as an authority. So you've got to realize that characters have different statuses. 2 henchmen to one another, they're probably going to be equal status. A henchman to a boss is going to be on different status. But a henchman to a little punk kid, the henchman now has the higher status. And you'll see the status shift when the hero comes in from, oh, you little dumb kid, you better get, oh no, it's the hero dude. You'll see that little subtlety where the emotion transfers from, confidence and anger to fear. And that's the fun of it. But here's one of the best things about acting, empathy. Everyone knows this. When you watch a video or something of someone in great suffering, you feel that tug at your heartstrings. Well, acting's the same way. You've got to use your empathy and your imagination. If your character's got a death scene, you can't just feel like, okay, well, I'm just going to die, all right, I'm going to read the lines. You've got to be in that moment and present. You've got to feel like you're dying. So you've got to take that character's situation, and you've got to take on, this is the end of your life. You're not just, reading one. No. This is you ending. Do you know what it's like to have something like this end? Do you know what it's like to lose someone? Now think of it in terms of their universe and their worldview. Are they going to die heroically? Are they going to die begging? Are they going to die with a joke? You don't know. You've got to really study that and know. Because if I just die blasé, the audience is going to know. Because audiences remember one of two things: an amazing performance or a crap performance. If you're just in the leeway in the middle, they don't care. So why not go all the way and give it that best performance you can? But another technique that really helps out character-wise is the improv principle of yes and. So if everyone's ever seen improv here, you watch improvisers play. They're always building and agreeing. That's because in improv, we use the principle of yes and. You agree to the world. Yes, I'm a 19-year-old sword-wielding sword fighter, and I'm the best at what I do. You agree and you heighten, you add things to it. So you add stuff about you and your character that makes it more believable to you. You play with it, you have fun. You give it that bigness that a lot of things miss. Because you guys have all seen bad anime dubs. You know? Oh, Hiyako! How you doing? It's a character, right, Hiyako?
Perfectly.
It sounds like a character.
One Piece, Porkins.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Kids. But you can just tell there's just that bad acting. It's just, because you can tell that they're trying so much harder to match the lips and the art to connect with the characters in the audience. But here's an example. You guys all know Scott Lambright, of course. He's here. He talks himself a lot in scenes. Now, for example, this is in Beast Wars. These two characters, they talk constantly, and they're on the same team, and they bicker. You've got Rat, who's much more of a lower status and snarky character, and Dinobot is much more of a, arrogant, hard focus, we do it this way, and kind of a loner. So they bash heads all the time. And Scott does what's called running through, where he does both characters bouncing back and forth. He doesn't just go, Rat, okay, Dinobot, no. He does it all in one take and bounces from, yes, he'll just bounce back and forth, and that's what a lot of actors do. It's a lot easier because you get that little ping pong and that status shift. You go, so you see that tiny little shift in the body. It's weird, but it works. Let's see. But another thing that's really crucial about this is all that stuff's wonderful, the acting's great. But then comes that problem of actually recording. So going through, I don't ever show up to a recording session just blasé, like, yeah, okay, let's do this, woke up, I've got to warm up. Like any instrument, it's got to be warmed up and tuned and in sync and ready. So you guys are doing something fun with me. Everyone, take your hands, grab your mouth, and repeat as so.
And I'll do it on my cheeks.
There you guys keep doing it. I didn't say stop. I said grab the cheeks, not squeeze the life out of them. But yeah, do that? Okay. Now, another thing we do. Pucker your lips and go.
I gotta take this off.
That's it. There we go. All right, now take the tongue and make this. This is called spitting on people 101. All right, okay, that's good. Now do them all at the same time. That's actually not a warm-up. I just always say people do that. But you gotta do that to really loosen the mouth. Now you feel your mouth a lot looser. You feel like, hey, I can say weird stuff like Irish wristwatch. My cheeks hurt though. Oh, that means you did it right. Means you're ready. Now you gotta say, you gotta start speaking. What I'll do is I'll read satirical websites like The Onion in as monotone a voice as I can. Just,
More power to you.
I think it was 6-year-old believes he's got 1 more year left of having his pants all the way down when he pees. And I'll just read that straight through. Not a smile, not a wink, and just really get the voice warmed up and focus exclusively on that. And from there, I'll basically just talk. Just read, talk. You've got your script, work on it, have fun. When I'm warming up, I'll just actually read the script and all of the side dialogue too, and all of the direction before I record, just so I know what I'm doing. But when you're actually in the booth, you need to be completely present. This is key. This is where a lot of actors will fail in voice acting. Because when it's just you and a microphone, it's weird. It's like, but it's not a person's thing. It's like, yeah, it's a thing, but an actor's got something called your imagination. Especially nowadays when you're sitting on a blue screen doing nothing. Sorry, green screen. Shows my age. But there goes the fun of it is, you know, you can have all the costume you want and all this stuff, and the right sword and everything. You're in costume already, but then it rains and you can't film. In the recording studio, everything is possible. That's the best part is your imagination. Stella Adler said that the imagination is the key to a new world. And the greatest thing about your imagination, you can just be anything. And that's the best part. That's why animation sessions, you watch them, they're having so much fun. Because yeah, it's a microphone or a script in front of them. They're so zoned out in the moment that that's what the world is. That world exists to them. They'll smell something. They'll smell that. They'll smell burning hair. They'll smell the heat. They'll feel it and go, I'm on fire! And actually look somewhere in their body because they're so invested and committed to that world. So while you're in the booth, the most important thing is this. In acting, especially voice acting, the four basic things that you need. You need energy. You need to be able to heighten it, lower it, tighten it. You need clarity. So you can be the best actor in the world, but if you mumble all your lines, then we're not getting the message or not conveying an understanding. You also need direction. You need to be able to listen and take direction. You need to be able to do a line like, hey dude, what's up? All right, you need to slow it down a little and not go up on the, what's up? Hey dude, what's up? All right, you need to do that one more time. Have a longer beat after hey dude and kind of go out the what's up. Hey dude, what's up? Yeah, let's go. So those are very, very crucial. And there's one last one, I almost forget it, which is visual. This is the most important thing because like I said, you only have that. You got the microphone, a script, and oftentimes weird studio wall art. Not as bad as hotel wall art, but it's bad. So you gotta really visualize that. You've gotta actually, if you're sword fighting, don't just go, ha, 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 ha. Actually envision a sword, if you will. There we go. Okay, let's see it. It's an object. You're like. So the fun thing about being an adult is we can do anything. We get paid to do this. But the problem a lot of adults forget about acting is they forget what children know. It's all pretend. They get it, they're all serious, like, I'm not going to have my character fall and say, excuse me. Never. It's like, well, there's a problem there because you've got armor. Actors are not allowed to have armor. Right? It's the worst thing. And if they have armor, they won't be invested. They're like, oh, no, I can't do that. That's never. There's no can't in acting performance. If you're going to die, you're going to die with your boots on. So you've got to have no armor. You've got to shred that. And you've got to just go off of it and be in that moment. Even if it does mean, yep, you get to slip in dinosaur doo-doo and you got to say a one-liner. You've got to be in that moment. You've got to have no armor. Because you've seen movies where the actor, Charlie Sheen, he's always the coolest guy ever. Because that's who he is. He's so cool. But he can't do drama or dramatic stuff because he's got too much armor. He's like, no, I'm cool, trust me. No. He's got no emotions. Right, Charlie Sheen makes me cry too. But a very important thing to keep in mind about this, my performance is, engineers like people that know how to work a mic. Not just, I mean work a mic. So think of the mic as a human ear. So if I'm here whispering to it, I need to get close. Come here, talk. You can be a little, not as close. If I'm yelling at the thing, I've got to yell over here. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Didn't mean to yell. Mommy and Dad are fine, I promise. So, you need to treat it like a human ear. And the best way to do that is actually imagine it's an ear. Say it's your best friend. Hey, dude, how you doing? How's the wife? Treat it like that. Oh, you are such a... Hi, baby. So you got to treat the mirror. That's really going to help you out, and that's going to give you that voice acting dance we do. Hey, what are you doing to me? It's weird. You get used to it, though. And in terms of how the actual technical side of all this stuff works, you have a microphone. I'm going to drop that now, it's annoying. You have a microphone, typically a large diaphragm condenser. Or nowadays, USB mics work just fine for starting out. There's, I think the Samsung Meteor is $40. And it's got a pretty good quality for what it is. But so you get a mic like that, you can go USB or you can do XLR. XLR goes out and goes into one of these guys, which is a interface or digital to analog converter. What it does is to get the analog signal from the cable, the XLR cable, and turns it into USB or FireWire. And that goes to your fancy computer or tablet. Technology's changed so much. It says right here, laptop on my thing. Nowadays, you can record on a tablet. Technology is awesome. But from there, it goes into your digital audio workstation. Everyone's got one on the computer. GarageBand, you've got Audacity. I use Reaper personally, but everyone's got their preference. You don't need to get Pro Tools because you're just recording a mono audio file. You're fine. And from there, brings you to a very important topic. Now, I stress this first. Before you get a voiceover demo, you need to get proper training and coaching. Because I made my first voiceover demo and it was a mistake. It got me no work for obvious reasons. But coaching is very important. You'll find voiceover coaches online. A lot do Skype, a lot do in person. But basically, you've got to get the proper training. You've got to find a coach that's reputable. One that's not just, hey, give me $1,000 and I'll make you a demo for Coca-Cola. You gotta be careful. Find reliable coaches. If you guys want to talk to me after that, I know several I can tell you about. But before that, you get all the coaching you want, all the training, all this stuff, all those tools, all that awesome stuff. Then what you do is you record a voiceover demo. But remember, no demo before time. Because you don't want to be like me and record a demo of, man is doing this. This is this character. This is this character. I'm this character, because I thought that's what they wanted. Didn't think they actually wanted you to make up scripts. They're like, no, give me those. So what you need to do is, after everything is ready and done, you need to get a niche demo. I have this many demos. Wow. That's the ladies say, wow. That many demos, huh?
Basically, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, it is. It's crazy. But that's me, though. I've been at this a long time, and I know my specialties. So I have a commercial demo, character demo. I have a radio imaging demo. I have a promo demo, which is currently in the works. I have a creature demo. Weird. And then I have a narration demo, which is by far the most freaking boring. Press X to start the game. From there, go to the start menu. It's stuff like that. But I'm talking about animation and character and video game. That's the fun part. The character demo is so much fun. What it is, the character / animation / video game demo, is a minute to a minute and a half. What you do from there is you used to slate. Nowadays, all of my agencies are like, don't slate, just give me the file, no slate, nothing. So you go right into it. And what you want to do in your demo, the first 3 spots or characters are the most important. Those are called your money spots. You want those 3, you want a casting director to hear them and know what 3 things you do the best, better than anyone else. For me, it's cocky heroes, weird lizard monsters, and kids. Next on the new sitcom, heroes, kids, and lizard monsters. But so from there, one second, I'll do questions 1 minute. From there, basically it starts off, the demo starts right into a big action scene, you know. Anori, I've got this! Besides, it's time to show them what an arm smash can do. Ha! And then, soon I will have you, and your organs dude, that's totally awesome. Okay, you go left, I'll go right. Let's go. So that's just the first 3 spots. And those are all about 5 seconds long. And if that sounds like not enough time to develop a character, oh, it used to be 10 seconds, now it's 6. It's just going down and down. But those 3 characters, they shift so much from worlds, perspectives, and status, and in terms of the styles, that you've got to ping pong like you're flipping channels. That's what one of my coaches said. It's got to be like you're flipping the channels. You're just like, okay, action show, cool. Okay, weird dramatic choral-like show. Okay, Nicktoons kid show. And then from there, you're going to more dramatic stuff, and I branch out from there. But once you get the 3 bases covered, those are where you're going to build from. After that, I have a more dramatic performance. Then, you know, a more villainous, lower ominous tone. That is another scene from there. Then it goes to kind of more casually, you know, Disney Channel, like, hey, Kimmy, you gonna go out to the dance, huh? They get with you? And it goes and covers all the bases from there. But that's the point of it very professionally. That's even not in my mic. That's one of my old mics. My actual mic costs a lot of money. It's inside my booth right now. I hope. Baby thought it was funny. But from there, it needs to be fully produced, professional music, professional sound effects, and mixed well. You can't have it be like, I thought I'm doing this one here! Because then the audio engineer goes, next! But that is the fun of it. Now, before I go into questions, I'm going to do a quick thing about misconceptions about voice acting. This is the most crucial thing. There's actually articles every week posted, 10 things you need for voice acting. You need to have friends tell you to do voice acting. That means you should do it. Oh, my friends, they've got a good voice. That's great. That's wonderful. Is it marketable? How many spots do you hear where they sound like you? So that's the thing is, you know, you can have the most beautiful samba, baritone voice, and you can be just the vocal butter. But if you can't deliver copy, then you're going to be dreadful. I can tell it's dreadful. I know it's dreadful. But basically from there, you've got to know, okay, good voice doesn't matter. It's a good voice with good delivery. Because the best voice can fall flat on a delivery like, only a Geico. Only a Geico. Only at Geico. I don't care how nice your voice sounds, if you deliver it flat, it's going to stick. Also, the biggest misconception I get all the time, dude, I do this really good Donald Duck impression. Like, that's great. I have never gotten an audition for Donald Duck in my life. And there's someone already playing Donald Duck. So it's always I can do silly voices. I can do 1,000 voices. That's great, so can a 5-year-old. They don't hire you to do silly voices, they hire you to be a character. Sometimes they have silly voices, sometimes they sound like you, sometimes they sound like me. But it's not about that. Oh, and another one I actually got from a friend years ago was, can you help me with the voice agent? I mean, I've been on camera for so long, I want to do voice acting. I'm like, have you ever taken a voice acting class? No, man, it's like the same thing. I'm like, okay, your really is this. Really? Mine really is really completely different because you're used to using your freaking face. I'm not. And another big misconception is, I'll get rich doing this. I'm like, if that's the attitude you're getting, then I shouldn't show you this. But you know, I do make a living. I make, you know, it's been very comfortable this year, but it's not like I can buy a Ferrari, but let's just say I've got some money to put away in savings. And I pay my bills. It's wonderful. I love it because I'm like, yes. I'm actually in the green this year instead of just right at the black going, okay, good, I made it, I survived. So I'm in the green, that's good. But it's also bad because I like musical instruments. But this is one of the most crucial points I've got to make. Value. There's some people that say, you know, oh, well, I mean, I would love to record you. We've got a limited budget, so $20 for this 400-sentence commercial. It's going to be 10 minutes, and it's going to play on YouTube and maybe some undisclosed major networks. $20. This case costs $20. My cables cost more than $20. My microphone costs 50 times that much. No. So yeah, you've got to say no a lot to some clients that just assume you're worth that much. There's this thing, Fiverr is hilarious. There's 1,000 profiles on Fiverr saying, for $5, I'll read your script and bring it to life and edit it. Okay? Now, for that big toy commercial I did, I got paid a good amount. There's a reason I got paid a good amount. It's because it wasn't just a commercial. It was who was seeing it. It was in 5 different states. It was on different big networks. The usage and who viewed it upped the price. Now, I've done some little things that are internal for, you know, a normal smaller fee because it's being seen by 20 people. But a bigger commercial, you get money. Because in voiceover, it's all about the usage and how long it takes. Luckily for me, it's most commercials, so it's all based on the usage and not based on how long the words are. But when it is for video games, oof, it gets up there 1,000+ words. You got to know how much you're worth per word. But that has been that part of the panel, so I'm going to open up to questions now. I also have a Q&A on Sunday in case you missed anything, but I'll open up, and I know you need a question, so yes.
How do you find out what you're good at? Like,
Well, there's 2 answers to that. What do you think you're good at?
well, I don't know, I can't say promote right, because that's something anybody can do.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine though, but what are things that you want to do? Like, what are the things that you would just have the most fun with and become the easiest to you?
Probably doing comedic roles, voicing comedic stuff.
Okay, that's good. Okay. What's something you think would be super difficult for you just could not do?
Hold the demonic voice for very long like you could, like your lizard.
Oh yeah. Okay. So already knowing that baseline, you know what you are good at, and that's. I'm guessing you're kind of a fun person, right? You like joke around and laugh about stuff, right?
Yesterday I tried to do the that's my horse dance with a Rolf cosplayer.
That answered my question. That answered my question. Yes. So that's who you are. The thing about acting is that with characters, you want to do things that are character close. For me, cocky heroes come easily because I'm not cocky, but I know how to channel that cockiness and that fun and that hanging belief in yourself.
Something about that, yeah, that
It's something that you hear in the character that responds to you instantly. You're like, oh yeah, that character. So you've got to find those characters you identify with just instantly. It's like if your friends describe you, gee Scott, you're just like blankety blank. It's like, hey, look at it. My friends always tell me, play Spider-Man, you'd be perfect. I'm like, hey, nice haircut, Doc. You're like, your mom get that for you? That's one of the dream roles. Because that's just me. I'm just sarcastic.
That's perfect. Did you actually play Spider-Man?
No, not yet. But I did do a Marvel commercial, so I'm like, hey, Marvel, I did a promo for
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Disney, I did a promo for Marvel. Oh. But another answer to that is your coach will be able to tell you what you're good at. They'll say, okay, here's this thing you've not been tapping into. So a coach will help you out, and you've got to know what is most fun for you.
I actually have my aunt who's a member of the Screen Actors Guild. She actually is a really good coach to me. She taught me how to, give me some very good pointers when I tried to sing Daffy's Rhapsody.
Nice. Yeah, talk to her more. She's going to know and hear what you can't hear.
She's really good at that, yes.
Awesome. Good stuff.
I actually wanted to move up with her at one point, but
Sweet.
first I wanted to work with my mother here in Florida. I want to work with her for a bit to give myself some work experience. That way I can put bread on the table in between acting jobs.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right, good stuff. Yeah, other questions? Yes, you.
When it comes to a vocal coach, is it oh, God, how to phrase this? Wow, I can't speak right now, go figure.
That's me every day.
Is it much more helpful to have a vocal coach who focuses on what you're trying to do or what they specialize at? I've had vocal coaches that focus more on singing, which I don't regret it, honestly. But I wanted someone more who focused on the vocal acting aspect. Is that a bad thing that I have?
No, it's fine. Actually, singing coaching, that's wonderful. I'm glad you have that because you know how to do a character that's, more resonating here. You understand where that's resonating from. So the singing is key. I didn't have professional singing lessons, but I would listen to tapes or and kind of mimic singers, so I know where to place things. But yeah, it's gonna help you. But I have 3 coaches. I have a marketing coach, I have a voiceover coach, and then I have a voice acting coach. So each one specializes in different areas. So you've got to go to that one for that, because I'm not going to ask my voice acting coach, hey, how do I deliver a sizzly local car commercial? They're going to be like, talk to a voiceover coach. Now if I ask, okay, how do I die believably in 2 seconds? They'll know. So you need to specialize in your coaches. Is that your question? Yeah, good stuff. All right, you have a friend next to you in yellow.
What exercises do you
You have about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, thanks.
what exercises do you use for vocabulary? Because being a voice actor, you can you're supposed to be on your toes about saying things. So how do you say things with words?
How do I say things with words?
How do you articulate and enunciate things?
Articulate and enunciation. Well, the easiest way to speak as well and enunciate as well as people better than me do, and I enunciate decently, but I speak way too fast. The easiest way to do that is to open your mouth as wide as you possibly can. Because no one's filming you. You're going to look weird, but when I speak, everyone sees all my weird teeth. So open your mouth as wide as you possibly can, show your teeth, and find out where your tongue is, because they're kind of, you need to kind of keep the tongue in control and work on where it is, but open that mouth as wide as you can, and having your teeth be seen is pinnacle. Because if I just talk without my teeth, then I've got mush mouth. So open as wide as you can, and believe it or not, read words aloud and very slowly. And then really understand where your mouth is going. That'll really help articulate, and like the warm-ups, it'll answer the question? Cool. Yes, you.
Would taking acting in college aid with starting getting into voice acting?
Yeah, any acting is going to help you. I wouldn't say an on-camera class would help per se, but in college acting, it's probably theater acting, so you'd learn Stanislavski or Meisner or Adler. I would not recommend, it's just me being biased as an actor, I would not recommend Strasberg/Method, because animation acting is so in the moment and spontaneous that a lot of those techniques and the research aren't the best, because it's so on your toes that you can't really use those techniques to the fullest. And I'll go over that more later on today, why I don't think method's the best for voice acting. But yeah, find those classes and work with it, even if it's stuff like object work like I was doing. You know, if I have I've got a giant book here, even though I'm not able to do that per se, when I'm in the studio, the principle is still there of what that object is and what it means to me. So yeah, take college acting, definitely. Yes?
Yeah, I had a similar question also, considering I'm actually trying to go into voice acting, and
Nice.
I'm taking a theater major in college right now.
Perfect.
And I was wondering, like, is that, like, depending on, like, the class and everything, is that, like, a good starting point on that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you can do, I know there's no real degree for voice acting. I think the best thing that's going to help you is experience in there with someone who does voiceover, intern with them. But I would probably say doing that with a major theater and a minor in communications, that would really help out.
Okay.
So definitely, yes.
How should a director treat their actor in the studio and out of the studio?
Yes.
This is more of a technical question, and kind of two parts. First off, what actual microphone do you use? And beyond that, have you ever recorded with an SM7B?
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you. My in-studio mic that I use is a Neumann TLM103. It's the baby brother of the U87. 1/3 the price, just as sweet. And I've actually never used one. That's the short one that's long. It's got this. Never used it. They're really good for vocals and rock and roll though, and I want to get one eventually just to have one. But no, I never used one. It's actually what Michael Jackson used on, I believe, the Thriller.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great microphone. But no, I never used one though. Great for broadcast. Not the best, I would say, for variable voice acting. You want a bigger one, but it's very good for promos and radio work.
Okay.
And was that another question? Was that it?
No, that was it.
All right, cool. Let's do your part. Good. All right, we're gonna wrap up soon. Other questions? I'm gonna start tearing down. So, yes, you.
Is it harder to become like a dubbing actor for like an anime?
I don't have much experience in terms of anime dubbing. It's all based out of either Texas, New York, or LA. I do have experience in ADR though, which is of course the boop, 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 and the imaginary fourth beat. You go. So I had a commercial for a soda company. I can't speak right now; it's not out. But I had to match an actress's. You know, it's snack time. I had to do it just like she did. Boop, boop, boop. It's snack time. So in terms of that, what's really going to help out is, believe it or not, music. A basic class on rhythm and meter because you're going to need to know when that beat is. So that's going to help out. And I don't know much about that stuff, but Bang Zoom has workshops in LA, and they'll actually have them here once in a while in Orlando. So look up Bang Zoom, look up anime dubbing workshops. So that's really going to help you out. But the most important thing is in that, there's the technical side, which is catching the mouth flaps, and then there's the emotional side, which is the character side. So I think that's all I have time for because I see a bunch of cosplayers. So come back here at 6 o'clock, and I'll have the All About Acting panel, and I'm going to have you guys help me with some exercises.